This is Megamania by Activision for the Atari 2600, and this is what critics are saying about it. Winner, most humorous home game, 4 stars, relentless action. Megamania's enemy objects just won't let up. Hamburgers, cookies, bugs, radial tires, diamonds, steam irons, bow ties, and dice. Faster and faster they come again. It's merciless, demanding, hard, rough, tough, and hairy. Again and again from different directions come hamburgers, cookies, bugs, radial tires, diamonds, steam irons, bow ties, and dice. Insistent, persistent, exacting, taxing. This is no ordinary mania. This is Megamania. Another hit by Steve Cartwright for Activision.
Megamania is a fixed shooter video game developed by Steve Cartwright for the Atari 2600, and it was published by Activision in 1982. Cartwright initially found inspiration for Megamania's gameplay from the arcade game Astro Blaster. After completing a variation of the game, the team at Activision felt it needed a different form to separate itself from various space shooter games on the market, eventually leading to Activision's ad agency developing the food-induced nightmare theme. And the game took 9 months for Cartwright to develop. In Megamania, the player is a pilot of a machine referred to as both an intergalactic space cruiser and a mobile blaster. After a day of work, the pilot gorges themselves on food ranging from ice cream to pizzas and begin to hallucinate. And at home after falling asleep, the pilots find themselves in a nightmare being attacked by various food and household objects such as hamburgers, steam irons and bow ties. I mean, Christ, what were they eating? Were they eating the funny mushrooms? And as a result, the player must control their fleet of mobile blasters that they're under attack from these objects. Now, Megamania can be played with 1 player or 2 players taking turns. And the goal of Megamania is to accumulate points by knocking out as many enemy objects as possible by firing the ship's missile launcher at them before the player's own fleet of 3 space cruisers is destroyed. And the player can earn an extra space cruiser in reserve for every 10,000 points he earns. There are 8 waves of enemies which move with different frequency and attack patterns. Each wave has the point value of each object increased until the 8th wave featuring space dice, after which all enemies are worth 90 points each and the enemy's palette colour and patterns also change. The game is timed by an energy bar at the bottom of the screen that gradually depletes during each wave. And if it runs out, the player loses a blaster. And also, bonus points are awarded after each round for how much energy is left in each bar. Using the game options on the Atari, the player can choose between guided missiles or straight missiles. Guided missiles can be steered by following your joystick movement, and with straight missiles, they streak straight up. The most original thing about Megamania is its strange enemies. As I mentioned, instead of using aliens that dance back and forth like most of the other old space shooters, this one features everyday items that we humans are used to seeing. In the first level, a dense group of hamburgers scroll across the screen as they drop fire at your upright ship that greatly resembles the Starship Enterprise from the classic show Star Trek. Using your endless supply of missiles, you must destroy these delicious foods before your time graph at the bottom of the screen runs dry. And when the time runs out, or you come into contact with an enemy or their fallen fire, you're dead. But as I've already said, all hope's not lost for sharpshooters because every 10,000 points that are collected, it will morph into an extra life. Once you send each and every evil hamburger to its grave, you simply progress to the next set of enemies that fly around in the same pitch black background. Next in line are crackers that fall down and to the left for a few seconds and then down to the right, trying as they may to jam themselves into your ship's throat. That's another thing about Megamania that was pretty unique for its time. Not only do the enemies change into several other forms, but they also have different ways of attacking. Colonies of ants and spinning bow ties tend to stay in the top half of the screen, dropping fire at you, while tires and rolling dice are more brave. I mean, there are suicidal bombers that just move horizontally as they also make their way down towards your ship in large groups that nearly fill the screen, making you feel all the more claustrophobic. Though it may not sound like it from this review, Megamania isn't a cutesy game at all, it's more on the serious and action-packed side. These enemies really do want to kill you. They're certainly intent on sending you to your resting grounds that when you defeat all of them, the whole thing repeats itself, only this time, these demons will be much tougher. Just wait until you see how much faster those irons, diamonds, etc. become. Many of them even change their ways of attacking, which really adds to the challenge and replay value. I mean, again, for instance, instead of simply scrolling across the screen, the hamburgers now scroll, stop for a few seconds, and then continue their journey. And those flipping crackers, they seem to fall at much steeper angles, along with being quicker, giving you the impression that they're really seeking revenge. Megamania is a great space shooter, it really is. It manages to be hilarious until you get used to the idea of destroying everyday items. We're all used to eating hamburgers, using irons to flatten out our clothes and rolling dice in a board game, but who would ever thought that they would turn against us like ruthless traitors? Whether you're laughing or not, the game always proves to be a lot of fun from start to finish. You also know that the game will never end, but that doesn't matter. I mean, it's this simplicity and short-lasting gameplay that's what made the Atari games charming. So why would I not give this a perfect review score? Well, I suppose, as original as the premise is, Megamania isn't as full of variety as other classic space shooters are. You can always select whether to use normal missiles or just fly straight up and after being unleashed, or for much easier killing sprees, you can opt for the guided missiles. You can also choose from one player game or a two player, taking turns. But that's it really. But in saying all that, there aren't over 100 variations like you'd see in Space Invaders, or excellent variety in the gameplay like you would see in 2600 version of Defender. Controlling the Starship Enterprise look-alike is a cinch, but you'll find that it doesn't move left and right quickly enough to escape the starving grips of certain waves of enemies. That's really nothing major, but it's noticeable enough to point out. The visuals are basic, so they don't really add anything to the game, and of course there's no music. Some of the sound effects are very nice though. When losing a life, your ship slowly disappears while a relevant futuristic sound is heard. And the sound of hitting an enemy, well, that's quite impressive as well, I suppose. But for me, graphics and sounds don't matter much in an Atari 2600 game though. It's just a matter of how playable and fun it is. And for me, Megamania is fun. In fact, it's mega fun. The challenge is right on target, and I'd say it's up there with the best space shooters for this system. So I suppose my only pet peeve for the Atari 2600 titles is not having enough variations, and that's the only major thing I don't like about Megamania. But never mind all that, because those little nitpicks don't take much at all away from the experience of playing this fun and original space shooter. I mean, the game also received the most humorous home arcade game at the 4th Annual Arcade Awards, and in 1984, Video and Computer Gaming Illustrated declared Megamania as the best Atari 2600 game. Nice. So I say this to you all, if you're a fan of this genre, then play this, what might be the most underrated game of its type for the Atari 2600. Go on, give it a go. Okay folks, there you go, that was my retrospective review of Megamania. I hope you enjoyed my video, thank you very much for watching. Now, please remember to like my video, share a comment and better still subscribe. Until my next video, I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.